Hello all. I just pulled the trackster back in the shop from the ride this weekend. It was, I would say it was a pretty good success, seeing how I had no problems. And I was able to run it around for a couple hours, probably put 5, 6 miles on it, I'm guessing. I checked my fuel. I burned like 2.5 gallons, which I considered was pretty good because for the most part, you're always running that motor at 3 grand or 3,600. So I had no issues with it running or stalling or anything. I did climb some slopes that were 45, 50 degrees, and it crawled right up them, no problem. And I was super happy. It still only goes like 10 because I'm bound to 3,600 RPMs. Although I did buy the ring and pinion from Max Tracks, but I was worried about this motor not holding it, but it seemed like it ran just fine and held it. So I'm going to look into putting that ring and pinion in, and then it'll go 15-ish. The only problem to put the ring and pinion in is you have to pull the tranny out, and that is a little bit of work. But to get the 5 miles an hour, it would be pretty nice. So I brought it in. I'm going to take all the covers off again, check all my nuts and bolts, make sure everything's good, and then go take it for another run. I didn't give an overview of when I finished building it, so you just saw the front end. Here's the rear. I took all the covers off that were on it for the radiator and just made it flat. And I just made a fancy little tailgate here. And then it pops up. And then because I have more room back here, I was able to put my fuel back here on top of the motor. So I'm just running a boat tank, which is 6 gallons. And actually, if you fashion it right, I can get 3 2-gallon cans in there. So I'm packing 12 gallons. So that gets me a ways. And then worst case scenario, you can always throw a 5-gallon up on the front fender for more distance. And I took this cover loose. I just got a couple bolts on it. I'll take it off, and I'll be able to show you how I fashioned the motor in. So, can't really see very good because it's hard to film, but this cover is on the side, and this cover just comes off with about 6 bolts. And once it's off, you'll be able to see the side of the unit, and you can see, if I can get the camera in there, you can see where I have the motor in. And then I have a little compartment right there where air comes in the back. And that's the motor that goes, that air goes through the crank. And then I got a dummy wall right here. And then all the heat just sits in there. And there's the exhaust pipe. And I've got vents on both sides so the air blows out. And there's a little chamber right here that I built. So the air goes straight up. And then that air goes up by that window right there. And it heats the cab. And I also put another vent in down below there, and heat comes in there. And the exhaust pipe heats up the back of that piece of wood, and I can tell you that being warm was not a problem. So I'm going to have to wrap that pipe right there with some insulation because it was actually pretty goddamn warm. So that's something I'll have to do, but not a big deal. But it's nestled in there pretty goddamn tight, and I utilized all my space. So I just need to check all my nuts and bolts, and then I'm going to go for another run this weekend and try it out again. I'm going to try to go for a little bit more distance, get up deeper, go in some deeper snow, because I've yet to go up in some 3-4 foot snow, which unfortunately we don't have right now. But I think if I get up at 5,000-6,000 foot, we could probably get into a couple foot of snow. Because I have roughly 3,000 square inches of track on the ground. And I'm guessing this thing weighs 1,200 now. I haven't got an official weight. That's just a guess. But if you add all that up, it's pretty much like putting a beer can in the snow for my weight to distribution of my tracks on the ground. So we'll see how it goes. I'll make another video this weekend maybe, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. I know some of my videos aren't very exciting, but That's my little unit. Thanks.